do that.
Okay, let's bring in Republican National Committee Chairman Reince Priebus to talk about all of this. Good morning, Reince.
Hey, good morning, Allison.
So it seems like a contested convention has gone from sort of this out of the question, fantastical possibility months ago to now a real possibility. So how are you preparing for what might happen 4 months from now?
Well, it's still a possibility, but we still have candidates that can get to the majority number before the convention. But taking your question, we're going to be prepared for all scenarios, Allison. I was general counsel for 2 years, of being now chairman for 6. We will put on a great convention. If it is a multi-ballot convention or an open convention or a contested convention, whatever word you want to use, we'll be prepared. And what happens is that you have a vote, and if no one gets a majority of the delegates on the floor, then you have another vote and another vote and another vote until somebody actually gets a majority. It's no different than when I became chairman of the party. Allison, you may not know this, but I won on the 7th ballot. It was hardly a landslide.
A resounding victory.
Eventually, right. But, I was never behind. I was always ahead, but I had to keep going on until I got the majority. So a minority of delegates does not rule for the majority. You have to have a majority. There's no question about that.
That is some interesting history, Reince. Now, some Republicans,
yes,
as you know, are so upset at the prospect of a Trump nomination and certainly a Trump presidency that they're suggesting something even different. They're suggesting putting in a third candidate. Let's say that Trump and Hillary Clinton become the nominees. Some Republicans are floating this idea of then parachuting in a third candidate, and they're mentioning names like Tom Coburn, Paul Ryan, Rick Perry, Mitt Romney. How certain are you you'll never get to that point?
Well, I don't know about certain, but, a few of those names I know are not even in the realm of possibility. So those names right there. And I know you're just repeating what other folks are actually saying, so I'm not questioning your information, but it's never going to happen, at least with the names that you've just mentioned.
None of those.
And secondly,
none of those
it's
you
getting
think
too
it could
late.
ever happen with those.
No. But just take the question generally, though. It's just getting too late. Number one, but number two, we don't even know who our nominee is going to be. So, we have 2 candidates that can get to a majority before Cleveland, and so no one really even knows what who the nominee on our side is going to be. And by the time you get to Cleveland, then it's really too late. And so, look, I think it's a lot of talk. I get it. This has been a drama and filled and full of intrigue type primary. There's no doubt about that. I'm not questioning that this hasn't been more contentious than normal, but I think that we'll come together, and the truth is, in all the polls, you look against Hillary Clinton, who's in a ditch herself, we're either winning or within a margin of winning. So I think we're in good shape to win in November, but we have to get through this primary season, no doubt.
This weekend, there was more violence at a Donald Trump rally. A protester was kicked and punched. Are you comfortable, Reince, that Donald Trump has done everything he can to quell violence at his events?
Well, he's certainly talking about it a lot more now, and certainly calling for the temperature to be cooled more. But look, we're not a party that believes in violence. I think violence begets violence, and I think you got to leave some of the work and the crowd up to the professionals. But I also think, Allison, if we're being fair here, and it's nothing against you or anyone, but when cable shows are on a constant loop on a couple knuckleheads pushing each other and a 24/7 loop, you create an environment, I think, that just adds fuel to the fire.
But shouldn't we focus on it? Shouldn't we highlight if there's violence at events, at campaign events, and it's only Donald Trump's? Shouldn't we mention that?
No. Mentioning it is fine. I'm questioning the 24/7 loop. I'm questioning 3 hours in prime time at night every day talking about it. I get it. It's news. I'm not questioning it's news. I'm not. But it's the obsession that I think that also adds to the problem.
Yep.
Granted, both sides have to disavow violence. I'm not saying that. But I do think that the media is obsessed to the point of it being very noticeable and almost bizarre.
Reince Priebus, we appreciate you being on New Day. Thanks so much.
You bet. Thank you.
Let's get